Glad meeting you today. We try to see together a general view about ethics in business for troisième AS, scientific and literary streams. When I say literary streams, we mean lettres philo and foreign languages. Let's get started. You have this mind mapping. Mind mapping or mapping lesson is simply, or unit is simply given a general view about it. It is between inverted commas what we call الخريطة الذهنية in Arabic. Now have a look at this. This is the title, Ethics in Business. Ethics is a set of morals, moral values and principles. القيم والمبادئ اللي نتربوا عليها من صغرنا. And we will apply these morals and values, of course, in our personal life as well as in our professional life. You were given in this unit in class with the teacher. You have here in your classroom or during the lesson, you are given this. Ill-gotten gains never prosper. We may translate it simply in French and saying, mal acquis ne profite jamais. And let me tell you something. Here, when you have ill-gotten gains, gains mean money. I'm asking you a question. Can money be ill? Surely you will answer, madam, no. But simply money could be illegal. You see? So here, and we try to understand this. Illegal money never prosper. Prosper here, we are dealing with prosperity, development and flourishment, why not, progress and so on and so forth. It depends, of course, on the context in which we use this word. Now let's go to ethics in business and we try to see if we feel concerned as pupils of troisième AS. We feel concerned with what? First of all, what are the wrong deeds? Why we are talking about wrong deeds here and ill practices? Simply because we are dealing with moral values and we are dealing with what? With what is right and what is wrong. What is legal, what is illegal. What is fair, what is unfair. What is acceptable, what is unacceptable. What is acceptable, what is fair, what is responsible is simply good enough, you see, and good enough to be used to succeed and have simply a flawless future. But let's see together what is illegal or ill or wrong that really leads to what? Leads to a total destruction of the country's economy. What is it? Now we try to see together the different ill practices and wrong deeds. What is illegal? Now we have tax evasion. Let's call it in Arabic تهرب الضريبي. Capital flight تهريب رؤوس الأموال. Nepotism. Simply and in simple ordinary words in Arabic المعرفة. Bribery is the money given in counterpart to have a service, to do a favor to somebody, and this is of course a noun, bribery. Sorry. We have plagiat, and plagiat here, it is to steal someone's property and to steal someone's ideas, and ideas represent a property for somebody in the literary field. Money laundering. Money and laundering. You see, you go to the laundry when you have what? When you want to clean or wash your clothes. Simply. And here it is what you call in Arabic غسيل الأموال أو تبييض الأموال. Smuggling, it is to get into the country something illegal. In Arabic تهريب عبر الحدود. Corruption and fraud, they go together. And the title, if you have noticed, it is Ethics in Business, Fighting Fraud and Corruption. These two words, they go together, you see, and they represent all what is illegal, unacceptable, immoral. It is what you call in Arabic الرشوة والفساد. Lobbying now here, it is a group of lobby or lobbying. It is a group of influence, people who are extremely rich, who can really influence, you see, or manage to influence politics, economy, social life, and so on and so far of people in all the countries. I'm really sorry here, one is left, one illegal practice is left, which is embezzlement, al-ikhtilas. Let's move to the second illegal and unacceptable behavior also. It is counterfeiting. You see, it is a global phenomenon. Global phenomenon simply because we find it all over the world. Counterfeiting, it is التقليد والتزييف. C'est contre quelque chose de contrefait. And here we obtain to copy, imitate, deceive and defraud. But there is an impression from the part of the pupils. When I say copy and imitate, they think it's positive. Deceive and defraud, they think that it's negative. And you join the idea in Arabic التقليد and والتزييف. But simply, I can tell you, dear pupils who are following me, that all these, they mean the same thing. Something that is not true, something that is not authentic, something that is fake, something that is not genuine. Now, I remember something back to fraud. I was talking about fraud and corruption, and I told you a few minutes before that they have a relationship. But for those who maybe didn't grasp the word is used in our society, see, outside, and you have a taxi fraud. What does it mean, a taxi fraud? In simple words, taxi fraud, it means somebody who is considered as a taxi driver who is working but illegally. This is a fraud, you see? And fraud, of course, we have plenty of examples of fraud. We may have an electoral fraud, and here we add voices of people who didn't vote, who didn't give their voices in during the ballot, and simply we get more than the people who voted, and so on and so forth. Now, back to counterfeiting. Counterfeiting is a global phenomenon, and of course also it is simply illegal, immoral, unfair. Why? Because we claim any product, it could be food or something else, sorry, as genuine, as original, in case it is not. And since it is not original here, we may suffer from its bad consequences. We will see it maybe in unit 2, you see, simply because it doesn't respect this ISO, International Standard Organization. You see, we have norms. We have norms of quality, and here counterfeiting doesn't respect quality. So all counterfeit products are of a low quality or with no quality at all. If we take the example of drugs, pills, medicines, you see, here we may say that they lack active ingredients. Low price, low quality. Now, back to the third phenomenon that we have been seeing through unit, through ethics in business during lessons. It is child labor. Child labor, labor of children, or work of children, or what you call in Arabic عمل الأطفال, in simple words, or عمالة الأطفال. Now, we know perfectly that what leads children to, or what pushes in some sort, you see, children to go to work, it is simply poverty. This is the major cause. Let's see the different consequences. We have exploitation, they get exploited. See, abuse and exploitation also, they go together, you see. And here we may have abuse of power. Abuse of power, it is you use your power or your job to abuse people. You see, you try to threaten people because simply you are in a you represent a major force and they represent a minor force. Exploitation is what you call in Arabic simply al-istighlal. And here we have plenty of examples of exploitation, simply because they get abused and exploited, simply because they are young, they are vulnerable, they are weak enough, they can't ask for their rights. Now, there another consequence, which is psychological disturbances or mental illnesses. You see, they develop problems, they develop psychological problems. Sure that when they start working, these children, they leave school or they quit. Of course, there will be one absence in a week, two absences, three absences, and now after they notice that the kid or the child or the pupil won't go to school anymore, he doesn't attend his lessons, simply he will be dropped out of school. There is a school failure, you see, school failure, and automatically he will have no future, and we may talk about an empty future. Now back to this ISO that deals with the quality. You see, quality of any product manufactured in firms, companies, in organization, big organizations, etc., in factories. Simply, we have the High Court of Justice. We were talking about what is legal and illegal, and here is the job of the High Court of Justice. The Court of Justice makes reports about illegal practices, and for sure that people will be jailed and will be taken to prison. Now, all these child labor, counterfeiting, and ill practices, they represent what? They represent issues, serious issues. They represent serious problems in any society all over the world. Why? Here, when there is a problem, we have causes and consequences. Now let's see together these consequences. Destruction of the country's economy. So here we steal money, okay? We take money, we put money, we create fake bank accounts overseas, and here these are havens, you see, and we call this tax havens. They steal money, they take the money, they make any project, you see, but they will put their money out overseas in banks, in Swiss banks maybe, Panama banks, Great Britain, and so on and so forth. We have plenty of banks that accept to get this money without asking for any legal paper to show the different transactions, you see, to show the different transactions of the people or the businessman who is running any business. Now, we talked about the consequences. By the way, when we talk about consequences here, during the grammar lesson, we will see how to express consequence using what? So that and such that. Let's see now. There is a problem. We have causes, we have consequences. Then, for sure that we will look for solutions. You see, for solutions here, we need to act quickly and effectively. Among the solutions, international solution is this Transparency International, TI, abbreviated TI. Transparency, transparent paper, is simply a paper from which we can go, or we can see. We see through the paper. Now, here it is simply what we call in Arabic الشفافية. This Transparency International, it looks for corruption cases all over the world, you see, and makes a report at the end of each year or every year. You have top 10 most corrupt countries and top 10 least corrupt countries. So that's why we consider it as a solution to the problem, simply because here, when they publish, you see, when they make a report, they are doing what? They denounce. They say to people, stop this don't care attitude. We need to say hi. You see, we need to raise a voice. We need to say stop corruption. You see, stop fraud, stop embezzlement, stop tax evasion and capital flight. Now, in order to succeed in this operation or this act, we need to pass stringent laws. We have seen together stringent. It is, you may have synonyms, severe, strict, tougher. In Arabic, we obtain قوانين صارمة مطبقة بصرامة. Now, in order to apply these laws, stringent laws, we need what? We need honest civil servants. Honest civil servants. We have seen at the beginning of the unit, honest, dishonest. We will see it later on because here we are using a prefix dis to use and to obtain the opposite. It's an exercise or it's a task, it's a question that you will meet in text exploration, you see, in morphology. Now, we have also here, when we pass stringent laws, appoint civil servants, we need the role of the media. They need to denounce. Media, we mean by media here, newspapers, magazines, social media, and so on and so forth. We cannot stop, we cannot stay unconscious. No, we need to sensitize people. We need to have aware and conscious citizens in society, and here we need to sensitize people to the gravity of the situation. Of course, another solution among the others, among all those we have seen together, to teach morals, and this is what we are doing. Ethics is morals, values, principles, القيم والمبادئ اللي يمشي عليها الإنسان في حياته اليومية، حياته الشخصية والمهنية. We need to introduce morals in educational programs. So here, simply, you see that we are teaching you in 3e AS ethics in business. To value handicrafts here, you see here, generally, to give them more importance, because they are part of the economy of the country. They are part, you see, all the countries that are maybe having a good business or good economy, or at least quite acceptable economy, they value all the work that is done by hand, or all the work that is traditional simply. We have different examples of weaving carpets, making poetry, and so on and so forth, because this is the identity of any country. Now, with all this, I have finished explaining to you ethics in business. I hope you enjoyed, and see you in the following videos about the following units.